Tuning the Satsuma in my summer car may seem super scary to begin with, but don't worry, it's actually really simple. Here is a quick guide on how to do a very basic tuning. If you want a complete guide on how to build the engine, check out my previous video here, which walks you through the whole engine build. One of the first parts on your engine you're going to want to tune is your camshaft gear. Grab a size 10 wrench and take a look at the wheel. You should see a line. You want this line to line up with a line on the engine block, seen here. Once you screw in the 10 bolt, the wheel will start to turn, and get those lines perfectly lining up. Make sure to check it lines up from multiple angles because sometimes it can trick you visually. Next up is the alternator. Once the alternator belt is attached, make sure the screw here is undone. You can't adjust the alternator with it done up. Put your hand over the alternator and scroll all the way down on your mouse wheel until it stops moving, and then upwards twice. Screw in the screw to secure your belt adjustment. Perfect. There are 2 steps to tuning the distributor perfectly. The first step is visual. Place on the distributor and use the scroll wheel to turn it left and right. You want to have it aligned so that the screw is slightly to the right of the middle. It should look like this. Tighten the screw all the way in to secure it. The second step comes from turning on your engine and listening. If the distributor is not fully tuned, you should hear a slight chirping sound coming from the engine. Undo the screw by 1 turn, any more than that and it will actually fall off. Then turn the distributor slowly until you no longer hear the chirping sound. Tighten it back up. It's done. Next is the rocker shaft. You could again use sound to adjust these, but the super simple, easy way is to scroll all the way down on these screws here until they stop moving. Then go back to each screw and scroll up by 7 clicks. The carb can be a little more annoying to tune as the screw is quite small. I personally buy the AFR gauge from the catalogue right away and adjust by pulling out the choke to ensure you don't damage your engine, letting the car start and warm up, and then slowly bringing the number on the AFR gauge to 13 by screwing this screw here down to make the number smaller and scrolling it up to make the number bigger. The final tune will have the choke all the way pushed in, the car fully warmed up, and the AFR slightly above 13. If you don't want to buy the AFR gauge, you could just count. Scroll this screw here up 50 times and then down 23 times. It's quite small though, so look carefully. The last thing you need to tune is the wheel alignment, which you can tune by grabbing a 14mm spanner and locating this bolt here on the steering rod. Scroll down all the way until you see the rod stop moving, and then up by 60 ticks. You have to do this on both sides. There you go, the car's perfectly tuned. This tune should pass inspection. Congrats!